You know when you brush your clitoris by mistake and you can feel that you like the feeling, but you do not do it again, and you make sure actually not to scrape it again, not to feel that feeling again. That is how you deny yourself pleasure. That is how you deny your divinity. You deny that God gave you this thing. You make it a mistake that God has given you this thing on your body for your pleasure. That is how you block your own blessings. There is a strong correlation between the pleasure that you allow yourself to have in your daily life and the pleasure that you allow yourself to experience in the bedroom. If you are always hypervigilant, always concerned that your actions or your non-actions are upsetting someone, if you're always self-sacrificing, your body will not feel safe to experience pleasure in a sexual context, because you deny yourself pleasure in your everyday experiences. The more you take control of how people treat you, the more you honor yourself, the more your nervous system will feel safe, the more you will feel relaxed, the more you'll be able to experience and enjoy sexual stimulation. What if I told you that you'll soon be able to reach orgasm, and not just from sexual penetration? Every woman can orgasm from her 5 erogenous zones. You can orgasm from a kiss when done correctly. You can orgasm from breast stimulation, whether that's touching, sucking, kissing, or even just touching around the areola. You can orgasm from vaginal penetration, clitoral stimulation, and we have the creme de la creme of all the orgasms. I repeat, every woman can experience, and that is the cervical orgasm. Just a little scrape of your nipple. Once you are finally healed and relaxed in your body and willing to experience complete sexual and erotic pleasure, can set you into huge orgasms. Just a little touch. So if the breast can do that, imagine what can happen once you make friends with your clitoris. Don't you think breasts are the most beautiful thing on the earth? Whether you're a man, a woman, straight or not, tell me what is more beautiful and more feminine than a beautiful display of cleavage. So my first tip to get your sexy back after a traumatic relationship, a toxic relationship, when someone's stolen your entire soul and your essence, when you're feeling worthless, unworthy of love, when you just cannot imagine being loved, cherished, adored ever again. These next tips will completely change your life, your outlook, and your opinion and perception of yourself, because it is not over until you take your last breath. Step number 1, take back control of your happiness. The happier you are in your real life, the greater your capacity for pleasure, the greater your capacity for joy. If you are able to enjoy and experience life's smallest but most powerful treasures, the sun shining, a bird chirping, butterfly landing on your shoulder, if you're able to enjoy the sound of a child laughing, if you are able to enjoy the meal that you're having, the fruit that you're having, the sweetness of the apple, life's little things, that gratitude, that awareness, that sensuality, being aware of everything, consciously making an effort to see the beauty of life, helps your body to feel more relaxed and safe the more you do it. I promise you, when it comes to sexual encounters, your body will respond with orgasms, with the ability to feel the pleasure. If you can enjoy and taste the sweetness of a nectarine and indulge in the pleasure of this beautiful creation, imagine when you're in the context where pleasure is the only agenda. How much more you will feel, how much more you will be able to feel it and experience it and indulge in it. You must make an investment into yourself and treat yourself to a boudoir photo shoot. One of the most empowering things that I've done and will continue to do throughout my life is to do a boudoir photo shoot every 10 years or so. So far, I've done 2, and I do them to celebrate my body because I know that it'll always be changing throughout my life. And also, I do it to celebrate myself. When you take those boudoir sexy photos, it's not like any other photo shoot that you will do, you know? Now, if you grew up as I did, which was super good girl, super Christian, super, I don't want to see anything that will make me stumble. No sex before marriage, no nothing. You probably struggle with seeing yourself as a sexual being. And it's very unfortunate because in the Christian context, marriage is very encouraged. And once you get to that stage, you're expected to just turn into this wild sexual woman, but you have no idea how to do that because you're not supposed to talk about it until you have that ring on your finger, right? So one of the biggest things that helped me to see myself as a sexual being and to not be afraid of my sexual self and to actually fall in love with that version of myself and to see my own beauty was to do a boudoir photo shoot. I highly recommend that you find the nearest boudoir photographer in your area and book a photo shoot as soon as possible. Don't make excuses. Don't say you need to lose weight first because today's body is your real body. And as you are stunning, you are hot, and you are sexy. And you have the capacity for sexual pleasure. No matter your size, your shape, no matter what is going on, get yourself a boudoir photo shoot to celebrate your body, to see yourself as the sexual divine being that you are, and to also help you to delete the negative feelings that you have towards sex, especially from a religious context, which can be traumatizing. I highly recommend it. If you've grown up under super strict conditions where your parents would change the channel whenever 2 people would be kissing on the screen, how on earth will you delete all that programming from your head until you start with yourself? So book that photo shoot. I will put the places that I have gone to below. One is in South Africa and one is in the UK. And book. And if you cannot afford it right now, take your phone, take your camera, and take your own pictures. Put on the lingerie that you love. Stand in front of the mirror and show yourself how stunning you are because that version of you is inside. Trust me. I wish someone had told me this tip much earlier in my life because it would have helped me to resolve my vaginismus. It would have also equipped me and helped me to know my own body, which is vital as a woman. You must know what you like. One of the biggest lies that women are told in our society is that our pleasure and erogenous zones are the responsibility of our partner to find. Now let me tell you something. There is nothing more empowering and nothing more sexy than a woman who knows what she likes. And how does a woman become a woman who knows what she likes? This tip I wish someone had told me years ago. I always used to think and feel that sex toys were only for a certain type of woman. Not for me, it's just not something that I need. And that's because I didn't know my capacity for pleasure. And also, there is a strong stigma against a woman discovering her own body. But we don't have the same stigma when it comes to a man getting to know his private parts and what he likes. I don't think that's fair. If you're uncomfortable with the idea of the conventional sex toys such as vibrators, would you be more open to trying something like a spiritual sex toy such as a crystal dildo or a yoni egg? Once I opened myself up to the spiritual sex toy world, I was able to heal from vaginismus. Now, if you go here on YouTube and you check how many people are trying to heal themselves of this horrible condition that is so avoidable and so unnecessary, you would also jump at the opportunity of using a crystal sex toy or the conventional sex toys such as vibrators. However, I do feel that if you have vaginismus, it's always better to start with a manual tool so that you can control it and you can de-armor yourself. If you want to know more about what is de-armoring, you can watch this video. In general, when I refer to de-armoring, I'm talking about getting the stress, the tension, and loosening the fascia in your vagina walls. In the same way you go for a massage when your body is feeling tense, is the same way that you can massage your vagina, your labia, your vulva, in order to release tension and get things moving, and so that sexual penetration can be more enjoyable. And these toys can also help you to do that. Now let's talk about the one thing that we can all agree: God loves women more than men, because he gave us an organ that is solely dedicated to pleasure, the clitoris. However, how many of us totally ignore its existence? We have it with us 24/7, every single day. We've had it since we were born. How many of us do not interact with it at all until we're in a relationship? Yet it's on our body. It's on your body. You know, you have your ear, you have your fingers, you have your neck. But when it comes to the clitoris, why are we so afraid? And it is a real fear. Women are afraid to touch the one thing that God gave them for pleasure. Now, what kind of brainwashing have we been through that all of us can agree that we all have some kind of fear related to our clitoris? Even though when you touch it by mistake, you know the feeling. There is a quote that says, "A woman who is afraid of her own pussy is a woman who is afraid of her own power." And I don't think anything is more true. You know, when you brush your clitoris by mistake and you can feel that you like the feeling, but you do not do it again, and you make sure actually not to scrape it again, not to feel that feeling again. That is how you deny yourself pleasure. That is how you deny your divinity. You deny that God gave you this thing. You make it a mistake that God has given you this thing on your body for your pleasure,